Tonight's action will get underway in just a moment. On tonight's Gulf Coast Wrestling card will be one fall, the time limit, 10 minutes in this opening match. One fall, 10 minutes. Introducing first on my left, weighing 239 pounds, here is challenger number 2. Challenger number 2. His opponent tonight in the opposite corner from Canada, weighing 254 pounds, we introduce Rip Tyler. Rip Tyler. One fall, the time limit, 10 minutes, our opening bout. Thank you. And we're underway in our Gulf Coast Wrestling card from Mobile's Expo Hall in the heart of downtown Mobile. And we have in the ring now, and we have a lot of matches tonight on the card. That's Rip Tyler against challenger number 2 in our opening match. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. So you're going to see a lot of activity. Arm lock applied now by Rip Tyler. Has it on challenger 2. Have a lot of bouts on the card tonight. Shoulder block by Rip Tyler. And an arm drag takes challenger number 2 down to the mat. Well, here we are again. Gulf Coast Wrestling at its best. All Gulf Coast announcers are appointed and approved by the Gulf Coast Wrestling Association. And a reminder that on our Tuesday night card at Mobile's Expo Hall, only portions of the matches are seen. We, of course, do not have television time to cover every bout on our program. But this is the first one now that we have going here. And there is Rip Tyler into the ropes, comes off with that shoulder block, but this time challenger 2 is ready. Another arm drag and an arm lock that Rip Tyler has put on challenger 2. We have a lot of outstanding wrestlers on the card tonight. There will be Sweet Daddy Banks, the White Tornado, the Intern, Ray Valdez, Rick Gibson, Danny Little Bear, Eddie Sullivan, Greg Peterson, challenger number 1. List seems to be endless. Randy Oliver, Ricky Fields are also on the card tonight. And then 2 matches. Our semifinal is a tag team bout. The main event is for the Gulf Coast Tag Team Wrestling Championship. So that's our story for tonight. Into the ropes. Another shoulder block. Wrapped on. A pickup there by challenger number 2 and a body slam as Tyler goes down but kicks the challenger away. Drags him down again and applies that arm lock. So Rip Tyler and challenger number 2 are having quite a match right now in this ring. Rip Tyler is asking the referee. Jimmy McGuire is our referee in this match. Rip Tyler is asking the referee to ask for a submission, but challenger is not likely to do that. Stays right in the thick of things. This is a one fall, 10-minute match. Challenger number 2 in the corner, and Tyler stalking him now. But this time, a changeover. And challenger 2 gets a whip on Tyler. Whips him into the corner all the way over to the other side of the ring. Comes off those ropes kicking. And the break call is coming up by the referee. He was coming off the ropes. Now gets a chokehold on Tyler. Another kick to the chest. Wants to get him into those turnbuckles and hits him good into those turnbuckles that time. Hits him first in the midsection. And then they go. Boy, that challenger number 2 is really applying the kicks, and now Rip Tyler is coming back. Rip Tyler coming back with a few kicks of his own against challenger 2. Gets those high knee lifts. Oh, look at that body drop applied by Rip Tyler. And he's got it. Good comeback by Rip Tyler, who will be in the championship match tonight with Danny Littlebear against the challengers. Challenger 2 in the ring. The victor, Rip Tyler, in our opening match. Now, let's pause for a Gulf Coast Wrestling break in the action. Minnesota, weighing 235. Here is Sweet Daddy Banks. Sweet Daddy Banks. Oh!
I'm not scheduled to wrestle that guy, and I'm not going to wrestle him. I want the guy that I'm supposed to wrestle, and that's Danny Stewart, and I need him out here, not Kelly. No.
Let me tell you something, Banks. Donnie Stewart got a real bad case of sickness. He's not going to be here tonight. Now, Sunday night in Pensacola, you had your rules and regulations. You're going to wrestle me tonight, son, and you're going to wrestle my rules and regulations. You understand?
Like I said, I need my opponent. I'm not wrestling Kelly. He's not the person that I signed the contract with, so I have no dealings with Kelly. So you wrestle your own rules and regulations.
All right, we're introducing to you, ladies and gentlemen, from Louisville, Kentucky, at 221, Cowboy Bob Kelly. Cowboy Bob Kelly, 1 fall, 15 minutes, our second match. Thank you. Well, we've had a lot of controversy in the ring. A lot of controversy. And Sweet Daddy Banks said he wasn't scheduled to meet Cowboy Bob Kelly. He was scheduled to meet Donnie Stewart. Now, how he got that idea, I don't know. I mentioned in the ring, it's not according to my program, but Sweet Daddy says that Kelly is not his man.
I'm not wrestling Kelly. I wasn't scheduled to wrestle Kelly. But I'm not wrestling Kelly, and the guy keeps chasing me around the ring. But I tell you something. Every time I get a hold of the what's called, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do him in, do it just like I always have. I'm going to hurt the guy and get rid of him. That's the only way to get rid of that guy. I'm going to do it tonight on live TV, and I won't have him to worry with no more.
Sweet Daddy, you're getting... Well, came out of the ring for the few words. Cowboy's after him right now. Belting away, and Banks is out of the ring again. Banks out of the ring again. Doesn't seem to want to get in there. Said he wasn't going to wrestle him. The referee is Tony Shane. Cowboy against the ropes now as Banks lets loose the fistful, and Kelly coming right back. Using those fists. And there goes Banks. The winner is Cowboy Bob Kelly. Banks finally left the ring. Had enough. And was out of there. All right, we're going to take another Gulf Coast Wrestling timeout. We'll be back for more action very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, upcoming our third match on the card tonight.
Hey, just 1 minute. I want something to say. You fans out there, you know I've got a few friends around here, too. They had us booked in here with the White Tornado. Well, people told me about this medic getting on TV. They're going to run this medic in instead of the White Tornado. Well, I tell you what, I don't care. I'm going to take my intern here, and we're going to beat this medic to within an inch of his life, and we'll take his mask off, and we'll be rid of one more white mask guy around here. Nobody's pulling the wool over my eyes. I know what in the world's going on.
He's not in the ring yet. You had your say?
Well, I've had just about everything I want to say. Here he comes now. Take a look at him. Listen, we don't care. I know about you. I know who you are. You're the promoters are not pulling a ringer in here on me. I know this is the medic. And for everybody's information, this is the intern. You're afraid?
Well, that was Dr. Ken Ramey, who said that is the intern, and they weren't going to wrestle. They knew that the White Tornado was the actual medic, and Tony Gonzalez, who's made no bones about it. And there goes the intern down to the mat. That's the White Tornado or the medic or Tony Gonzalez, whatever you want to call him. But he's in the ring there against the intern, Dr. Ken Ramey, on the sidelines. And here comes the medic trying to get the mask off of the intern. But he's doing a good job. He's got the mask. He's got the mask, the medic. Stripped the intern of his mask, and now he's after Ken Ramey. And we have another intern coming into the ring now. And he's pounding away along with Ramey, who's kicking the medic. The referee has called for the bell, Jimmy McGuire. And there apparently are two interns now. And look at that mask that the medic is using on the intern. He's got that mask. He stripped one of the masks. Now he's going to try to take a mask off the other intern. And almost got it. And listen to that crowd. So the medic has grabbed another white mask. All right, now, let's pause very briefly, and then we'll return to the Expo Hall for continued Gulf Coast Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, our next match will be one fall with a 30-minute time limit. One fall, 30 minutes. Introducing first on my left, ladies and gentlemen, from El Paso, Texas, at 231 pounds. Here is Ray Valdez. Ray Valdez. His opponent is from Pensacola, Florida, weighing 221 pounds, the Alabama State Wrestling Champion, Rick Gibson. Rick Gibson. Non-title match. One fall. The time limit is 30 minutes. Thank you. The referee is Anthony Shane. Rick Gibson from Pensacola. Good move there. Rick comes to his feet, but then he's down again. And Rick Gibson complaining about hair pulling by Valdez. Valdez, a veteran. He arches up beautifully. Comes right to his feet. This is one fall, 30-minute time limit on this match. Rick just uses that foot off the head of Ray Valdez, and he can really do that. Valdez having very little on top. Uses those leg scrapes, or foot scrapes, we should say. Battle of strength going on right now. Somersault. Rick Gibson getting those feet in the midsection, somersaulting Valdez to the canvas. But Valdez gets him on a rollover, but Rick comes right back. He's got a good wrist lock now. Steps over it, grabs the other wrist, and an arm stretch. Foot right off of the head of Valdez again. Rick Gibson from Pensacola. Break call forthcoming. Move off the referee's position, and there is Valdez getting a good kick into the midsection. And there, Rick Gibson catches one that time. I don't know, Tom. I'm about to burn up. And Gibson dragging Valdez across the ring. Gibson applying the hold. Valdez trying to work his way over to the ropes right in front of us and does. So the break call will be forthcoming. Part hammer, part arm locked by Rick Gibson. Valdez and Gibson having a good match going here. Down goes Rick Gibson now. And there's a bit of hair pulling by Valdez. He claims no, but the referee is giving a warning. Giving a warning on this one. Flying head scissors by Gibson is a takedown on Valdez. And Gibson slaps his own foot. We'll repeat, he's Alabama State champion. It's a non-title match that's going on right now. He has a crossover head scissors. And a stand, and a headshot that time. Off that head scissors, head drop on Valdez. Up against the ropes, Valdez. Somersaulted over. Two count, and that's it. Valdez now really after Rick Gibson. Gibson in that corner, trying to come out of it. Forearm smash by Valdez. Kick. And there goes Rick Gibson now with an arm, with a sling into the ropes and throws Valdez over his right shoulder. And a drop kick, a flying drop kick by Gibson. Pick up. Body slam again. Step over toe hold, Gibson. Swirls around on it beautifully. Boy, he's got a beautiful lock in there. And the shoulders of Valdez. Pinned to the mat with Rick Gibson. Bit bloodied up at the forehead on that, but he's the winner. Beautifully done by the Alabama State Wrestling Champion, Rick Gibson. All right. Good Gulf Coast wrestling action. We're going to pause now for station identification. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our fourth match of the evening. It will be one fall with a 15-minute time limit. One fall, 15 minutes. Introducing first on my left from Tampa, Florida, weighing 235 pounds. We present now Randy Oliver. Randy Oliver from Tampa, Florida. His opponent tonight from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing 220.5 pounds, Cowboy Bob Kelly. Cowboy Bob Kelly. This is one fall, a time limit, 15 minutes. 3 bouts follow. Thank you. Off and running in our fourth TV match of the night. Well, looks like we're being invaded here. That's Sweet right. Daddy Banks and Eddie Sullivan are here.
Yeah, you know something, Jack? You probably announcer I know of.
Well, I appreciate the sentiments.
I came out to talk to you. Do I have to look around and check these guys out? You know something? There's one guy that I hadn't beat in 30 seconds. Every time I get a chance to wrestle him, you know, it costs me a little money.
You're talking about Cowboy Bob Kelly?
That's right. It cost me a little money. And I really hadn't had a chance to get on the guy and do him like I want to do. You know, do him like I did the rest of these weak-kneed wrestlers that you have in this area. So what I out here for is just to look around and see what the guy got to offer. I always get a good shot at the guy, see what he got to offer. You know, like I say, you know, you can never pass another guy up. The guy is tough, he's rough, but I think I'm tough and I'm rough.
Well, you are that. I'll have to admit that, definitely.
You know, I just have to get out and watch the guy, see exactly what he got to know, see exactly what he got to offer. You know, I can see things that other guys can't see because by me being the true champion that I am, I can always spot a loophole and go into it and win a match. Have you noticed that? I watch those mistakes those guys make, and I just move in for the kill. Well, and I polish them off.
I know you're very observing, Sweet Daddy. I've noticed that.
And that's the reason I'm out here watching this, Kelly. You know, the guy, he's, you know, you can't take it away from the guy. He's a tough customer. Let's face it, the guy is tough. He probably somewhere under me. But the guy is tough. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
he rates somewhere under me. But you can never pass the guy up. So what I'm out here for is just to see what he got to offer. You know, tough customers, I'm the toughest. Rough customers, I'm the roughest. And look like he got his hand full now with this Randy.
This is a new boy, Randy
Well,
Oliver.
look at those big elbows he's putting in the back of him. The guy is tough. Ooh, look at that. I know that jaw Kelly's back. Look at that. Kelly got the result to the doggone fifth. He got to go back to the fifth. He don't know how to dish it out like he once has. He has to resort to the fifth. He has to resort to the fifth. You know something? And look at him. The guy going for that.
Got that bulldog again.
The guy going for that. But, well, you know something? I got to see.
Okay. Well, Cowboy Bob Kelly and Sweet Daddy has left us to come into the ring. And Kelly is lambasting away at Sweet Daddy now. Wow, he knocked his glasses for a loop. And here comes Eddie Sullivan. Eddie Sullivan is coming in there against Kelly. And Sullivan now is holding Kelly as Sweet Daddy Banks is pounding away. Kelly won his match with a bulldog hold. Jimmy McGuire, the referee, is trying to break things up, but it's almost impossible to do it. Sweet Daddy continuing. Sullivan holding Kelly. Oh, and he got that double chop. Sweet Daddy Banks is wearing mittens. I don't know whether you noticed it or not, but he's wearing mittens. He had his sunglasses knocked off. Kelly is down. And Sullivan checking to see whether those sunglasses are broken. Well, both Sweet Daddy Banks, and there's the crowd, and they're up in arms against not only Sweet Daddy Banks, but also Eddie Sullivan. And there's Cowboy Bob Kelly on the mat. He had won his match, did win it, from Randy Oliver. And then Banks left us here at the ringside table. And after Banks was in the ring, then came Eddie Sullivan. So here they are both at ringside once again. Well, what's all that about now?
I got to congratulate you. Didn't take you but 1 minute to do it. All by yourself, too, baby.
You see that? Less than a minute, and I disposed of that thorn that was in my side.
All by yourself.
I proved to the people, once and for all, I am without a doubt the greatest athlete in the world today. I just disposed of the Cowboy. The guy that's been a thorn in my side that I hadn't beat in less than a minute. Nationwide TV, I beat the guy in less than a minute. Then they helped him back to the dressing room. And you people, you know something?
See a picture of Kelly right there.
Don't he look
being
pretty?
escorted.
Escorted?
Escorted, right.
Yeah, that's a good technical term. My term for it is carried out. Some plain and simple that the people can identify with. Carry. So you people
by yourself, man. I saw it.
Did you hear my good friend?
I heard what he
said,
said,
Did you hear my good friend?
I heard what he said.
I did it all by myself, thanks.
Well, he'll be in action.
Appreciate
I
that.
just want to make sure nobody else jumped in.
That's right. And you see what happened? The world famous Kelly has been laid down.
Okay,
Knocked
Sweet
off
Daddy.
the throne. Sweet Daddy Banks. Always remember, Gulf Coast Wrestling. Make sure you come down to see the greatest athlete of all time, Sweet Daddy Banks, and get you some Dixie crust, and I guarantee you I can
All right, we got to go now. We got to pause briefly and then back with more Gulf Coast wrestling action. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout will be one fall with a 30-minute time limit. One fall, 30 minutes, our next match. Introducing on my left, from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing 250 pounds, here is the Gulf Coast Wrestling Champion, Eddie Sullivan. Eddie Sullivan, Gulf Coast title holder. This is a non-title match. His opponent in this bout, in the opposite corner from White Rock, Arizona, at 247 pounds, here is Danny Little Bear. Danny Little Bear. One fall, 30 minutes in this match. Thank you. All right, here we have the champion, the Gulf Coast title holder, Eddie Sullivan. Facing Danny Little Bear, non-title match. Jimmy McGuire is the referee. All right, here they go into action. One fall, 30 minutes in this bout. Well, with no title at stake, let's see how Eddie Sullivan operates in this match. Danny Little Bear is tough, as he showed it last week. Well, he had Sullivan in pretty good position there, but did not go into him. Side headlock by Sullivan, and a smash. Whoa! You hear that one. Boy, that's a hatchet shot from Little Bear, wasn't it? Heard that one out there on Government Street. Used that reverse kick there, too, pretty good. They move in the referee's position. Oh, and Sullivan got a good one in, but Danny Little Bear belted him right back. Danny Little Bear has a smile on his face right now. Well, Sullivan missed with that one, and Little Bear clipped him as he was moving away. Well, they're at that position. Boy, they're trying to wail away at one. Look at that. Well, they're trying to get some smashes in there. They're really having at one another. Another shot to the face by Little Bear. Being warned about watching his fists. Sullivan moving away from Little Bear right now. Champion got it right in the face that time. Little Bear stuck that left hand into the face and hacked away at it. That was a shot to the throat by Sullivan that time on Little Bear. Used that thumb right up under the throat, and again. Little Bear down to the mat right now as the champion got into another one. He's using that hand with those strong fingers. Gets a reverse kick. Slap by Little Bear sends Sullivan back into the corner. And Little Bear right after him now. They're using all kind of tactics above the waist. And now Little Bear gives Sullivan a touch of that medicine with the thumb. Sullivan will be back as he joins Sweet Daddy Banks. Following about tonight between Randy Oliver and Ricky Fields. Upcoming next on our television broadcast will be Greg Peterson, challenger number 1, which should be a real good one. And this is an excellent bout. As we said earlier, they're applying pressure above the waist on all of their stand-up holds now until one man goes down. They're jabbing away at one another is what they're doing. At the throat, there's a turnbuckle shot by Eddie Sullivan on Danny Little Bear. Sullivan moving in again into the turnbuckles. Now another shot to the face of Little Bear. And he may have drawn some blood that time. He has. He has on Little Bear. With those jabbing tactics. Into the turnbuckles he comes and catches it right at the throat that time. Another shot to the face. Little Bear's got blood flowing now. Another one. Shot into the turnbuckles once again. And again by Eddie Sullivan. And Sullivan now moving in on the attack. Danny Little Bear coming right off of the turnbuckles that time. Boy, and Sullivan's working on that eye. Really is. So Danny Little Bear down on the canvas, bleeding profusely now from that cut over his eye. As you can see, drawing a lot of blood. The turnbuckles again comes Danny Little Bear and comes out of the ring that time. Came out of the ring and Sullivan's after him. Sullivan's after him outside the ring. Ooh, and slams him right off of that ring post. Little Bear fighting back now. Gets a good shot in there. And they're battling outside of the ring. Another shot. Sullivan's going to get back in the production of the ring. Little Bear right into him. This crowd loves this action going on now. And they're slugging away. Sullivan was going to get out of the ring, but now Danny Little Bear has him on that side and belts him into the ring post. What a battle this has turned out to be. Eddie Sullivan outside the ring. Comes Randy Oliver and Ray Valdez. This is Randy Oliver coming into the ring now. And Randy Oliver catches his shot. And another one. Valdez is coming in. And Valdez getting it. He's getting out. Oliver and Valdez both came in. To help Eddie Sullivan. Now, chasing away there is Danny Little Bear. Well, we've got to leave you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, our next match will be one fall with a 30-minute time limit. One fall, 30 minutes. Introducing first, on my left, weighing 240 pounds, here is challenger number one. Challenger number one. His opponent in the opposite corner, at 226 pounds, from Bonifay, Florida, here is Greg Peterson. Greg Peterson. One fall, 30 minutes. We have 3 matches to follow. Thank you. All right, we have Greg Peterson, challenger number one, going at it. Single match, one fall with a 30-minute time limit in this one. Okay, there's the challenger working on Greg Peterson now. Anthony Shane is the referee. Hammerlock now by the challenger number one. And down goes Greg Peterson, with the advantage to the challenger. Well, we've had some exciting matches on Gulf Coast Wrestling tonight, and there have been a long series of them. I wish we could bring you all of the bouts tonight. There'll be 3 more matches following this one, but our television time is rapidly elapsing. And they're talking about hair pulling right now, but the challenger said no. Count of 1, and that was all. And a break call is given to the challenger. They'll be back defending their Gulf Coast Tag Team Championship tonight. They face Rip Tyler and Danny Little Bear. So the wrestling activity continues. Greg Peterson trying to work out of this hold. See if he can make it. He's got that toe hold now Greg Peterson has on challenger. Now we're going to, during this action, take a brief timeout. All right, we're back into things here. Match still going on. Challenger number 1, he's the one that wears the glove on the right hand. And he's facing Greg Peterson from Bonifay, Florida. Greg, a veteran of wrestling. Doing a good job here on the Challenger. As we say, that tag team championship match, Gulf Coast title match, is the last bout on our card, and I don't think we'll have the opportunity to bring you that nor the semifinal. That's between Sweet Daddy Banks, and he teams with Eddie Sullivan against Cowboy Bob Kelly and Greg Peterson. Also, Ricky Fields, Randy Oliver will be meeting too. So there's a lot of wrestling. You can see within our time limitation that we cannot cover the whole evening. So only portions of Gulf Coast wrestling are seen on television. Greg Peterson still working on that leg of Challenger number 1. Trying to force some action. Challenger can't break out of it. He's trying desperately to do it. Can't seem to do it. That Peterson is a determined fellow. He stays right in there. Challenger can't get enough leverage. Boy, Peterson digs that knee right behind the knee of the Challenger. He's into the ropes. The Challengers to the break call will come. That's what he wanted. He wanted to get to those ropes. And Peterson's after that leg again. Sliding around, looking for it. Oh, kicked him in the seat there. Challenger went up on the ropes to try to escape. Got a little kick right there. Stalking about. Both the Challenger and Greg Peterson. Takedown is by Peterson. Goes after that leg once again. Challenger can't break out of it, and Greg Peterson keeps ask him, meaning about submission on that. Peterson is putting some pressure on him. And Peterson twisting at that foot. Really giving it. Now again, the Challenger goes to the ropes. And Greg Peterson breaks cleanly. And they go at it again. Working on that leg. But the Challenger now goes to the advantage. He's got a knee into the face of Greg Peterson. This fall, scheduled one fall, 30 minutes in this match. Then they have to come right back with more. So let us see, as these two have put on a terrific bout, and we've seen some excellent wrestling throughout this evening. Greg Peterson trying to get out. Let's see if he can do it or not. And into the corner. Another kick. Well, Our time is going to be up or down on Gulf Coast Wrestling. Jack Bitterman, we hope that you've enjoyed the matches, and we'll be seeing you very soon again. Thank you.
You've been watching Gulf Coast Professional Wrestling, presented each week by the Gulf Coast Wrestling Association, member of the National Wrestling Alliance.
To you now, Ray Roland. Ray Roland. His opponent tonight is from Bonifay, Florida, weighing 223 pounds. We present to you now Greg Peterson. Greg Peterson. This is one fall. The time limit is 15 minutes. Our first match. Thank you. Well, we have our first match on tonight's card at Mobile's Expo Hall in the heart of downtown Mobile. And it features a newcomer to this area. And that is Ray Roland. And an arm drag takedown by Greg Peterson. These two will be back in a tag team match later. Ray Roland will team with Randy Oliver, and Greg Peterson will be joining Tom Tate. And that will be a 2 out of 3 fall 30-minute match, which you'll see on Gulf Coast television. So this is our opening bout. We're underway, looking for an exciting evening of great wrestling. And again, the takedown is by Greg Peterson. Greg using that arm bar very successfully, goes into a hammerlock. And Roland's trying to bear hug. Whoop, forearm smash. Now, Greg Peterson delivers these legally. He uses that complete forearm, so you can't fault him for that. A full Nelson applied by Greg Peterson right now. And in working over into the corner is Ray Roland. Gulf Coast Wrestling. Downtown Mobile at the Expo Hall. Have some outstanding matches lined up for you tonight. Tom Tate and the Challenger is going to be out here. Tuffy Taylor and Danny Littlebear. We told you about the tag team match. Also, Sweet Daddy Banks and the Intern will face the Medic and Mr. Ito. The Challengers will meet Rip Tyler and Eddie Sullivan. So we have a big evening lined up for you. May not be able to get all of them on television due to the fact of time limitations. All Gulf Coast Wrestling announcers are approved and appointed by the Gulf Coast Wrestling Association. Underway now. Oh, crowd yelling that Roland is doing a bit of biting there. On the fingers of Greg Peterson, the referee is Anthony Shane. He is our third man in the ring in this first bout. Giving a warning now to Ray Roland. In fact, he's warning both of them right now. Ray Roland, blonde. Greg Peterson from Bonifay, Florida. Overhead wrist lock being applied by Roland. Pick up. Full mare. Greg Peterson to the advantage now. Uses that reverse body drop, and Peterson goes for the count of 1. And a shot to the midsection by Ray Roland. Spins Peterson in, and Peterson goes head over heels down to the mat. Being covered in there by Ray Roland. Gets a 2 count, and that's all. Whip into the rope, and sliding under is Greg Peterson. Beautiful move. And he's got the pin with the count of 3. Beautifully done. Would it look like Ray Roland had the advantage there, and Greg Peterson, fine wrestler, and he'll be back. Well, so will Ray Roland as far as that goes. They're both in tag team matches this evening. Okay, now let's have a Gulf Coast Wrestling timeout. Time limit. One fall, 15 minutes in this next bout. Introducing first on my left at 239 pounds, here is the challenger number 2. The challenger number 2. His opponent tonight from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, weighing 230 pounds. We introduce now Tom Tate. Tom Tate. This is one fall, the time limit, 15 minutes in this bout. Thank you. All right, set to go. All right, we have Tom Tate from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and challenger number 2. Challenger number 1 is at ringside, by the way, on the far side of the ring. Can't see him now. Side headlock by Tom Tate. This is one fall, 15 minutes. Our opening match went to Greg Peterson. We still have a lot to go. 2 count. Oh, Tate, despite the fact he had headlock. Another side headlock applied by Tom Tate. Side mare brings challenger number 2 down. Head scissors that the challenger applies. Much to the joy of challenger number 1 sitting at ringside. Bull Nelson. Chinlock by challenger number 2. Well, the challenger number 2 grabbed Tate by the trunks there and brought him down. There's challenger number 1 right now. Battle of strength there by challenger number 2 and Tom Tate, who was a pretty big fella on his own. Faces the strong challenger. And a shot to the face right there of Tom Tate. Elbow smash by challenger 2. Using that knee into Tom Tate. Getting him right over the rope. Smashes him to the chin right there. Tom Tate trying to work out of this, but can't seem to do it. And now Tom Tate retaliates. He's coming back strong, and the challenger number 2 goes down to the canvas. Here's a whip. That sends challenger 2 right into the turnbuckles. Tate advancing on him now. Hip slings him down. Grabs that arm into the ropes, as you see. Here comes challenger 2. Oh, kicked him right to the face as he came off the ropes. Reverse drop, and he's got that. Reverse drop by challenger number 2. And now, as he wins the match, he takes a slap at Tom Tate, who's on the canvas. Challenger number 1 coming into the ring to congratulate his partner. These two will be back in our main event of the evening against Rip Tyler and Eddie Sullivan. Tom Tate. Tom Tate working now. He's working on both of the challengers. And challenger 1 was surprised, and as he flailing away with that glove to the midsection, now holds Tate. Another shot to the midsection, and another. This is challenger 2. Boy, I'm telling you, these challengers. There's Tate. Here comes Rip Tyler. Rip Tyler coming in, and also Eddie Sullivan. Tyler and Sullivan are into the ring now to help Tom Tate against the challengers, and they'll be meeting them in the main event tonight. There's Rip Tyler right above us. See him jump out of the ring now. Tyler back in after challenger 1, who's trying to get out of the other side. So Rip Tyler and Eddie Sullivan come to the aid of Tom Tate. Tom was in pretty dire straits, but he tried to take on both of the challengers and looked pretty successful until they began hold. They began that holding. Well, all right, we have more matches to come in just a minute on Gulf Coast Wrestling. Let's take time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for our next match. Danny Littlebear is being held up right now by a crowd of admirers on the far side who are trying to get autographs, trying to get to him, and he's very obliging. So it'll just take a moment. Here he comes into the ring right now. We'll get this match underway. Ladies and gentlemen, the following bout is one fall with a 15-minute time limit. It's the King of Sports, Gulf Coast Professional Wrestling, presented by the Gulf Coast Wrestling Association. Tonight's action will get underway in just a moment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Gulf Coast Wrestling. An exciting card, more about it as the evening progresses, but right now, let's go to ringside and Jack Bitterman. Jack?
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match will be one fall with a 15-minute time limit. One fall, 15 minutes in this match. We proudly present, ladies and gentlemen, on my left, one of the top-ranked contenders for the NWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. He is from Hazard, Kentucky, top-ranked by the NWA. Weighs 270 pounds. We introduce now Luke Brown. Luke Brown. His opponent is from Boniface, Florida. Weighing 226. We present to you now Greg Peterson. Greg Peterson. This is one fall. The time limit is 15 minutes.
Thank you very much, Jack Bitterman. And again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Gulf Coast Wrestling, promoted by Lee Fields. What an outstanding wrestling card we have scheduled for you here at Expo Hall this evening. Some of the top professionals in the Golden Gulf Coast will be appearing here tonight. But at this point, we would like to say that all of the matches that are presented at the auditorium are not seen on television because we cannot fit them into the time frame allocated to us. We only have 1 hour for wrestling, and the matches run considerably longer than that, and we regret that we can't show them all to you, but that's the way it is. Our referee for this match is Jimmy McGuire. Greg Peterson versus Luke Brown. Jack, what about this man, Luke Brown?
Well, he's top-ranked, as I said in the ring, Leroy. He's about the #1 contender for the NWA Championship, and he's a big fellow, as you see, and the folks see at home. He's about 6'7", 270 pounds. Seems to think that perhaps Greg Peterson a little too small for him, but he looks
seems
good.
To be handling himself all right in there against the man's size.
That's right. The crafty veteran, Greg Peterson. Had one match on the card. Lord Ravens, Dan Burdick fought to a draw in 15 minutes in the opening bout of our wrestling program, which, as Leroy explained, we cannot carry, of course, all the bouts. Arm drag by Greg Peterson takes the big fella down. And he's kind of surprised, I think, Leroy, that Greg moves as fast as he does.
Yes. He's a very strong athlete, Greg, as he's deceptive for his size. The expression dynamite comes in small packages is very true with Greg Peterson.
That's absolutely right. Go into a semi-referee's position now. Using that strength, there's big Luke Brown bearing down, and he has the weight, he has the strength, and Greg Peterson being forced down. That right knee hits the canvas. So this is a big one. Look at that Luke Brown as and coming right back as Greg Peterson makes a good comeback. And a double drop kick. Sends Luke Brown down to the mat. And Luke, well, if everything else fails, you talk to the crowd, Leroy, right?
Yes, but you have a problem drowning some of them out.
Yeah. How true. Well, there you heard the words. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. We'll mark that one. Greg Peterson now tries for the pin, but Luke Brown right outside the bottom strand of the rope. So the referee, of course, calls a break, and they go back into action. Let's see if they go into the full referee's position. They do. Greg backing up on big Luke Brown. There's a forearm smash by Brown. And a tough one, too. Kick to the back by Brown. And Greg wants to get on him. Jimmy McGuire, the referee. Another shot to the face by Luke Brown. Says he's doing it with palm up, which constitutes legally. But there's Greg with an elbow smash and then uppercuts Luke Brown. He's doing well. Doing very well. I figured he would, Leroy, do a good job against this big fella.
Yes. Greg has had, he's been deceptive, as we said. His size is deceptive and everything, and he's wrestled some of the greatest, and Luke Brown comes well recommended. He's got good credentials, but Greg will take on any of them.
Yeah, he sure will. And Luke Brown seems to be doing a little more complaining right now than wrestling, but good hammerlock is applied by Greg Peterson.
Pressure on that shoulder.
Yep, he's got it. He's got it. Greg Peterson bearing down. Greg Peterson has the hold on Luke Brown. Luke Brown, ranked by the National Wrestling Alliance as one of their top 10 men. But Greg Peterson is putting up a tremendous scrap against him tonight. Referee Jimmy McGuire watching Luke Brown right now. I'm watching both of them. Working on that arm is Greg Peterson. And we saw Luke Brown there grab a hold of those tights to pull Greg Peterson down to the canvas. And the break call is being given by the referee right now, and Luke Brown does his breaking. Good match going here. One fall. The time limit is 15 minutes on this one. Upcoming will be a tag team bout that you'll see. And that shoulder block by Greg Peterson comes off those ropes and comes hard. It picked up by Luke Brown. And into the turnbuckles goes Greg Peterson, and he was really locked into that. Brown stomping on him now, the press. 3 count, and that's it, and Luke Brown is the winner. As Greg Peterson came off the ropes, by golly, pick up by Brown and into the turnbuckles and the pin. So we'll have more wrestling action in just a moment.
For our next event now, and the ring is full of people, so let's turn it to our man, Jack Bitterman. Jack?
The upcoming bout will be one fall with a 30-minute time limit. One fall, 30 minutes. And in this match, ladies and gentlemen, the disqualification rule has been waived. No disqualification in this match. The one fall, 30 minutes. Introducing first the team on my left. First weight, 243 pounds. We introduce now the Intern. His partner at 235 pounds, Sweet Daddy Little Bear. Danny Little Bear. His partner at 236 pounds, the masked medic Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez. The disqualification rule has been waived for this match. No disqualification. One fall. The time limit is 30 minutes.
Thank you very much, Jack Bitterman. The masked medic, Danny Little Bear, getting final inspection by the ring official for this match, Jimmy McGuire, going up against the team of the Intern and Sweet Daddy Banks. In the ring with them at this point is their manager, Dr. Ken Ramey. Ken Ramey, their manager. Referee with final instructions with the men to determine which of the partners from which team, each team, will start the match. Ramey lodging a complaint with the ring official about Danny Little Bear, who looks like he will be the choice of the team of the medic and Little Bear. And Sweet Daddy Banks climbing out of the ring on the other side, so it will be the Intern. Ramey is out of the ring on the apron. Final consultation between Danny Little Bear and the medic. Danny Little Bear going over to see what's the problem in the other corner. As Ramey again steps out of the ring, Sweet Daddy Banks steps out of the ring. Here's the bell, and the action begins.
Well, Leroy, we always have trouble when Dr. Ken Ramey is in the corner. He seems to be apparently a little quiet right now. So it's Danny Little Bear. Big Chief against the Intern. Side headlock by the Intern immediately. Little Bear's trying to get him over into the ropes and makes the swirl. Flattens out. Intern over him, and he gets that Indian chop, and out of the ring goes the Intern. And Ken Ramey has something to say, and Danny Little Bear goes after him, too. Sweet Daddy Banks helping his partner in this one. Devastating chop, Leroy. He's really got it.
Oh, it was a terrible chop. I'm sure they picked that up over the microphone, even above the crowd.
That's right. You can hear him. When Danny Little Bear cuts loose, he really applies it. And he caught the Intern coming off the ropes and had him just in the right position. Ken Ramey is trying to get Danny Little Bear to stay back there. No tag has been made as yet. The medic in the corner of Danny Little Bear. Sweet Daddy Banks, the Intern's corner. Now turn around, the reverse whip by Danny Little Bear. Sends the Intern into the corner right above us. And he double steps him, standing right on him, on the face, on the mask, and on the chest. Danny Little Bear. He's got some weight, too. Tag's been made, and Sweet Daddy Banks is coming in now. Take over the chores. Dr. Ramey wants a replacement in there. And Sweet Daddy, there's a good close-up, a good shot of Danny Little Bear.
Note the concentration in his face there as he prepares to lock up with this man.
Really got it, Leroy. And he reverse kicked there on Sweet Daddy Banks, who is complaining, and now Dr. Ken Ramey looking at the eye of Sweet Daddy. Danny Little Bear getting that kick. Now Sweet Daddy wants to see if any blood was drawn, but there was none. Danny has had no relief as yet. The match underway. Medic still, he catches a chop, that Indian chop. Here's Sweet Daddy on, he gets another one. Comes off the ropes again and catches a third. Down he goes to that canvas and says, no, hold on, and twiddling his thumbs, Danny Little Bear. It's like a patient exercise there, Leroy.
Very much so. Danny is just as cool and calm and collected as I've ever seen a professional wrestler before in a match, and he is ready for this match tonight.
Notice how he whirls those eyes around as he looks at the opponent constantly, even though he's working on one man. There's the Intern and Sweet Daddy, as you got a good close-up shot of them. And Little Bear and the medic in the other corner. This is one fall. The time limit is 30 minutes in this match. Our opening bout found Lord Ravens and Dan Burdick wrestling to a draw. Then our first match on television had Luke Brown on a pin over Greg Peterson. Into the turnbuckles, Danny Little Bear, and then the medic takes a crack at Sweet Daddy. Here he comes into the other turn. Oh, he's almost out of the ring. Well, Ramey was in the wrong place, and Danny Little Bear gets a shot to the midsection. And Ken Ramey seems really puzzled, Leroy, about all this. I don't think he realizes exactly what his team is doing right now. He sits down with that discontent on his face. He was giving him some instructions, but that's easy to do if you're not in the ring. Sweet Daddy ready to level off on Big Daddy Banks, who uses, or rather, Danny Little Bear, who uses that arm twist. He's got that arm.
The pressure on that shoulder.
He sure is, yep. Using that twist, and still Danny Little Bear looks out of the left eye and catches the intern, and he's got him in the ropes again, as he did last week, I think. Wasn't that the case, Leroy, right above it?
In the ropes last week, but this time his head is in there, so
right.
He's almost in a chokehold on himself in the rope. And Danny Little Bear is helping him out. Look at him, he's putting pressure on the ropes while Sweet Daddy Banks and the medic have it on the other corner.
Well, they're going at it now on both sides.
Intern's out of the ropes now.
Yep. He's free. Whether that'll help him or not, we don't know. Now he's getting back. And in this corner, we have the medic and Sweet Daddy Banks. Now Danny Little Bear retreats to his corner, the intern to his. Watch the whip. Coming right to Little Bear. Sticks that right fist into the chest of Sweet Daddy, who's now after the medic, who clobbers Sweet Daddy as the medic came into him, rather side-mared by the medic. And Sweet Daddy looking at that mask. Now he gets a double shot at the head with those knees of the medic. Goes back to talk to the intern. Medic after the intern now. Wants to get him out of that corner. Well, the medic is out. Tag has been made. The intern wants a little time to talk to his partner. 1 fall, 30 minutes in this match. And it's a good one between two masked men. Of course, we know the one, and that's the medic. He's Tony Gonzalez. Doesn't mind his name being used at all, does he? And a whip. And the intern got his own man that time. Boy, they're having a little trouble on their...
They're just not synchronized at all tonight. They are completely out of step with each other.
Game plan is not quite working, Leroy, I would say.
Here's Sweet Daddy Banks rolling out right on our apron here, right on top of our equipment.
Oh, boy.
Their heads together.
They hit heads right above us.
Comes right on top of us.
Sweet Daddy outside the ring. We thought they were going to come right down on this table. And there's the medic out of the ring now. He's chasing Ramey. Ramey's out. Danny Little Bear in. Ramey's going to come back. Boy, this is an exciting battle. Thought it was going to be real exciting for a minute if they came down on it.
Right, about 500 pounds of muscle isn't to be laughed at, so to speak.
Right. All right. Good bout going on now. Well, who's where now? Let's see. The medic is coming into the ring. Against the intern, sometimes a little difficult to, with the white masks, see who is who. And now the intern, there's Danny Little Bear looking on as the intern was about to grab the medic and did. And Sweet Daddy Banks using that forearm smash, but he's getting it a little closer to the elbow than the forehand. Over the ropes goes Tony Gonzalez. And Sweet Daddy Banks trying to fight off the referee, Jimmy McGuire, trying to keep him away as the intern bears down on the head of the medic. He's got him over the second strand of the ropes. And Ken Ramey now takes a shot at the medic, who is helpless in that position, held by the intern, but Ramey was in there. Sweet Daddy is blocking off the referee, won't let the referee in. He's doing a screen job on him. And here comes Little Bear. He's going to get in there to try to clean up this situation. Right to the middle. Medic fighting back now, clobbered from the back by the intern. Bull mare by Sweet Daddy Banks, stopping at the Medic. Boy, what a match this is. We've really got it going, Leroy.
Fantastic match. Here's the intern in the ring now. He's had a few moments to rest on ringside there, and he's really turning it on to the Medic. Here's a chokehold. The ring official right on top of it pulls him off. Here's a fist by the Medic. The intern back trying to pull the Medic's mask off, and the Medic keeps retaliating. It's going to be a tug of war on the mask now as the Medic and the intern go at it. Look at this, Jack. Look at it.
Yeah, they're going at it, Leroy. They're trying to get one another's masks off and doing a pretty good job of it. And they collide in the center of the ring, right off the center, and both are down, the intern and the Medic. There's Ramey coming over here to help his intern, trying to get him on his feet. Wants him to press for the pin. Now, whether he can get over there, I don't think so. Well, I'll tell you, with Sweet Daddy Banks and the Medic pounding away, this has been a torrid bout between the two. And there goes Gonzalez hard on Banks. Flips him back in the corner, and then gets the intern. The Medic with a flurry of punches there. Danny Littlebear's right behind his partner. I thought maybe he'd try to get a tag and move in on Sweet Daddy, but he didn't. And the Medic is not going to tag off at all. He wants to take, well, there's a few words that they pass along to one another. Just a few words. Danny Littlebear patting the Medic on the back, saying, get in there, Tony, do the job. Got to win this one. Sweet Daddy is just lurking on the outside, waiting for the Medic to come to him. Off the referee's position, Sweet Daddy pounds at the back of the head, use an elbow smash on him. And that elbow again, he doesn't use that forearm. He's using his elbow illegally on the forearm smash. That could cost him. Well, there's no disqualification. So actually, Leroy, no disqualification in this match. So
right.
They get away with most anything, I guess.
Right. And here is Danny Littlebear, who's had him a good rest on ringside, really working on the intern. Here's Sweet Daddy Banks coming in, and he picks him up for a big body slam. Look at that body slam. Tremendous power behind that man.
Boy, he's really doing it. Airplane spin now halfway. Oh, what a
body slam.
I'm telling you.
Tremendous.
Going to get that whip going.
And took him down.
Yep. And look at him lock those legs now. And a stand-up. Stand-up on locked legs. Headstand by Danny Littlebear. Could not quite finish off Sweet Daddy Banks.
All right, they're working on Daddy's leg.
Sweet Daddy.
Danny Littlebear held him while the Medic came off that rope and dropped on that leg. And here's Littlebear just letting him roll in. And he lets the intern have it, too.
He looks one way and uses his feet the other. Now he's barreling away like a prize fighter. Gets a shot right to the chin. That Danny Littlebear is tough.
He is that.
Ken Ramey is working on Sweet Daddy
Banks. They're working on the mask. They're working on the intern's mask, Jack. Ramey's coming in the ring. The Medic.
Oh!
The Medic slammed Ramey. Sweet Daddy Banks is outside of the ring. They're back working on the mask of the intern. Here's the Medic and Danny Littlebear really working on that mask. The intern has been slammed. Here comes Luke Brown into the ring.
Luke Brown is in there.
He lets Danny have one back in the head, an elbow smash, and throws him into the turnbuckle. They've called for the bell. Outside interference. Outside interference. It was a no disqualification match, and right into the turnbuckle above us. Luke slams Danny into it.
Well, they can do anything now with no disqualification, but the bell, the referee has called for the bell. Big Luke Brown was right there on top of things, came in from the dressing room, and Dr. Ramey came in also. Listen to that bell sound. And the mask now, the intern is still trying to get the Medic's mask off. And
the blood all over the man's face.
Yes, right in front of us here. Danny Littlebear.
He's bleeding profusely.
He really caught it from Luke Brown. There's no end to this, it doesn't seem like.
Here's Dan Burdick trying to get into the ring, too. Burdick is trying to get into the ring, Jack, on the other side.
Well, Leroy, I don't see him. Now I see him trying to get in. Boy, it's hot and heavy. It's hard to follow. Ah, here comes somebody else. No.
Ramey goes down again. Somebody let the Ramey have one.
That mask is almost off of Tony Gonzalez. Somebody's coming in. Here's Burrhead Jones and Rip Tyler.
Burrhead Jones and Rip Tyler. And there goes Danny Littlebear. He's back around on the leg of the intern now as the medic holds his mask. No, they got the medic out of the ring. From the back, I couldn't tell. It's the medic they pulled out of the ring.
Looks like a battle royal, Leroy, right now.
Oh, my goodness.
And the winners.
Danny Littlebear and the medic.
Right. They took the match. And the intern is protesting vehemently about this. Ramey says a few words, but the medic goes for him. The intern doesn't like it at all. Sweet Daddy Banks not saying too much. They're the winners. On the right, Danny Littlebear and the medic on the left. All right. Great wrestling action, and Gulf Coast Wrestling will return in just a moment. The Bruiser, and here he is.
Again, he punches the Bruiser to the head. Again, he hits him in the head. Drops him to the mat. A knee drop by the monster. Drops him to the mat. A knee drop by the monster. A tremendous 301-pound knee drop. And here the Ox choking Dick the Bruiser. The Crusher goes after the Ox. Dick the Bruiser hanging on to those ropes. There's a punch by the Ox. A kick by O'Connor with that chin lock again. The Bruiser is definitely in difficulty. O'Connor has been punishing him with these tremendous forearm blows. Dick is getting madder by the minute. Listen to these fans roar as Bruiser takes over on O'Connor. Sends him to the mat, to the floor outside the ring. Now he has both of them. Oh, he smashed their heads together. He crashed O'Connor into the ring post. Now Dick goes for the Ox, and now he crashes the monster on the table. Again, he crashes him to the table. The Ox wants to get in there. The Ox wants to get in. And he grabs the Ox. He's ripping away at the mustaches of the Ox. Crashes him into the ring post. Again, he goes for O'Connor. What a beating O'Connor's taking. Oh, the O'Connor dropped. Dick crashed him into the floor. What a wild match this is. Now Dick asks the Crusher to go over and take care of the Ox. And Dick goes back after O'Connor. Dick throwing punches at O'Connor. Man, he crashes him again into that ring post. And there's a cut on Chuck, the Monster O'Connor's forehead. He's bleeding from the forehead. Dick is right after him. again, they're exchanging punches. And Dick shakes up. O'Connor, he drops him to the mat. What a beauty of a punch that was. The fans are screaming with excitement. Cheering Dick on. Another smash in the face. 10 minutes gone. 10 minutes on the lap in this 60-minute time limit match. And Bruiser giving an unmerciful beating to the monster. Dick the Bruiser has opened up a cut on the monster's head. He picks him up. A tremendous body slam. And there he goes with the claw hold. The Ox gets in there to break it up. But the Crusher comes in and stops the Ox. The Crusher now working on O'Connor. And here's Dick the Bruiser again taking over on O'Connor. Big backdrop by Dick the Bruiser. He picks him up, rips him up by the hair. Another tremendous body slam. Oh, man. Now he climbs that rope. He jumps on him. He covers him. 1, 2, 3.
United States heavyweight wrestling champion. Dick the Bruiser, one of the all-time greats in wrestling. And when you see him in action, you see a giant of a man. Dick the Bruiser. All right, we'll continue with Gulf Coast wrestling action in just a few moments.
You too fat for that.
2 out of 3.
You gotta go back to George, where you come from.
Introducing first on my left. Weighs 265 pounds. Here is the Super Assassin. The Super Assassin at 265. His opponent at 235 pounds from the cotton fields of Louisiana. Here is Burrhead Joe. Burrhead Joe. 1 fall, rather 2 out of 3, with a 30-minute time limit. 2 out of 3, 30 minutes.
Thank you very much, Jack Bitterman. What a pairing. Burrhead Jones versus the Super Assassin. This is another young man, though, that has been around for some time, has quite a bit of ring savvy about him, and even though his opponent is of superior size, when it's all over, the man will know that he's had a wrestling match. Super Assassin. Third man in the ring is Anthony Shane. Third man in the ring, Anthony Shane, and here's the bell, Jack.
Okay, Leroy, you're right. We've got a good one going here. This is 2 out of 3. Big fella. And I think Burrhead Jones, I announced his weight is 235. I think he's a little bit lighter than that, maybe 3 pounds. But the Super Assassin is truly 265, and he's been rough. You remember seeing him in action last week's matches. Found him to be a powerful man. He knows.
Burrhead is an amazing athlete. He loves soul food. He just eats it by the tons, and his weight will fluctuate in there from 228, 229 to 235.
You're right.
He's like a horse, and look at him.
I was just mentioning that, Leroy, that his weight, well, you can't introduce him at the same weight for any event particularly. There's that strut of Burrhead Jones, and he's having a laugh. Look. The Super Assassin, that's good. Super Assassin doing the same thing. He's a big, strong man. We saw him last week. And he follows Burrhead around the ring. Burrhead trying to evade him a little bit. Now takes an arm sling and whips him down. Another one. Burrhead Jones doing it fast. Look at that. Shake, shimmy, and roll, huh, Leroy?
That's the Burrhead strut.
That's it. And the assassin saying something to Anthony. I think it's disturbing him is what it's doing. So there is a little warning given there. Not too much of one.
Anything that you can do, Jack, to put your opponent. Look at this. Burrhead can work that head right out of a headlock. And anything that you can do to break your opponent's concentration, you do it. And that's what Burrhead is doing. He's got the man utterly confused at this point.
That's right. Sure has. See what the assassin does. It's a 2 out of 3 fall match, so Burrhead doesn't particularly have to conserve his energy. Either does the assassin, because it's a 30-minute limit bout. That does make a difference. He's got that mask. Burrhead got that mask. Grabbed a hold of it. Gave it a little tug there. Side headlock by Burrhead on the big fella. The assassin. He's going around so fast that the referee, Anthony Shane, has to really put on the motor, get around with him. Look at him. Look, stalking the wall. He's climbing around like Tarzan. Thought it was a good move anyway. I don't think that's strictly legal, Leroy, but he got away with it, I think.
He did.
Just bounced along the ropes right there. Just walked the ropes, actually, like a tightrope. There's a shot to the face of the assassin by Burrhead Jones, and the crowd is urging Burrhead on. Go ahead and get him. Oh, he missed that time. The assassin stepped away from him. Missed a left-handed punch. Assassin's got him from the back now, clobbers into the back of the head. Assassin now making that weight work. See the way he picks him up. Another shot to the back of the head. Uses that forearm and smashes at him. Burrhead right between the legs. Gets down. Playing a little game out there, and then delivers the left hand to the midsection. Elbow smash to the top of the head. Burrhead coming. Oh! And did the assassin pick him down? Clotheslined him is a word, Leroy.
2, 3.
Boy, oh boy. Telling you, he really did. And the fall goes to the Super Assassin. All right, back to Gulf Coast Wrestling after these words. Right now. Got that first fall very quickly. Burrhead was doing a good job of staying away from the assassin, using a lot of deft footwork and so on. But he was caught up with and lost that first fall. So he's fighting back right now on the assassin. Big guy, 265. May weigh a little more than that. Somebody in the back said he's too big to wrestle. He's a pretty big fella. And Burrhead is taking it now on the stomping side. And another one in Burrhead. It hits the mat again. Burrhead, a good close-up of him trying to swing that left hand into the assassin right there. Rips away at the eyes. Does the assassin. Burrhead now kind of in trouble a little bit. He uses that left hand, he's southpaw, and uses it with a lot of velocity. And right into the midsection of the assassin. Good close-up of him right in that corner.
Burrhead's working on the mask.
Yeah, we seem to have a lot of mask pulling tonight, don't we, Leroy? Well, I think Burrhead really wants to get that mask off and expose the assassin. Not very successful that time. That fella is big. Big, big, big. Oh, he hurt his hand that time. Using that head. It doesn't seem to disturb Burrhead at all. And the fans yelling now that the assassin is going to the trunks for something. In his tights, they're yelling to the referee. Let's see. Hands open. Nothing there. Well, I don't know. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they use that maneuver as a feint. Drop kick as the assassin steps away, so Burrhead gets nothing on the kick at all. Well, the assassin was going to pick up, try to body slam, but Burrhead evaded that. He's got something to hit. Pick up by the assassin. Down on that knee drop. Yeah. Boy, he hit him in there. He's got it. He's got it. The assassin was about to punch again. But he got the fall. And he got the match because he won 2 straight falls over Burrhead Jones. All right. We'll have a timeout and then back for more wrestling action.
Tyler, Rip.
Thank you, Leroy. We just want to come out and take a few minutes of your time and the folks' time to say to everybody in the professional wrestling business on the Gulf Coast, Eddie and I have got the belts we started out with some years back, Leroy. We held these belts longer than any other team in professional wrestling.
We sure have.
We still hold the record. We've got them back, and like before, we'll wrestle any and everyone who has the qualifications to get in the ring with us. They get a shot at these belts. We're not going to hand them to anybody, Leroy. The next people that wear these belts are going to have to fight as hard and as long as Eddie and I have to regain them.
Fine, Rip. Eddie?
Well, I have basically the same thing to say. There's people that wrestle against us for these belts are going to have to show that they're worthy of having a match against us. I don't like to sound this way, but that's the way that Rip and I are. We work hard when we get in there. We wrestle hard. We wrestle to win, and anybody that gets these belts off from us, they're going to have to wrestle hard, and they're going to have to prove that they can beat us. And that's the only thing I have to say.
Fine. Thank you,
I'd like to say one more thing as a fan around the area. Sullivan and Tyler are back to stay. We're the Gulf Coast champions. We're darn proud of it. And if you don't believe we're proud of it, you watch the next two get in a ring with us after these 2 belts.
Fine. Thank you very much. Rip Tyler and Eddie Sullivan. Let's go to ringside and Jack Bitterman.
The opponent tonight is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, weighing 275 pounds. We present now Gene Lewis. Gene Lewis. This is 2 out of 3 falls. Time limit 30 minutes. Thank you.
All right, our time is just about gone here on television.
Reintroduce the wrestler.
The gentleman with the black tights is Mr. Jerry Usher, and he went over and shook hands with his opponent, Gene Lewis, who really doesn't need an introduction to wrestling fans along the Golden Gulf Coast. Gene has wrestled here before, and he's quite a proficient wrestler. The 2 men shake hands again. And look at this. As he turned to walk away, Usher let him have it. There's the belt, and he goes to work immediately on the man.
Well, that was unusual. I was going to say Leroy, too, for a shaking of the hand, but didn't mean anything, as Usher immediately clobbered Gene Lewis as he turned his back to him. And off of the ropes, big Gene Lewis, and he is big. 275 for him. Jerry Usher, that's a knee lift. Right to the chin. That Gene Lewis works fast and works tough. He is a good one. Jerry Usher is a veteran, doing a very good job, too. And that was a quick drop down by Gene Lewis, and he's got it. Boy, that was a fast one. How about that fall? Well, I'll tell you. That happened suddenly, Leroy, didn't it? Well, there's Jerry Usher. This is 2 out of 3 falls. Okay. That's going to be it for now. We'll take a slight break, and then we'll return. The Gulf Coast Wrestling Association appoints and selects the announcers heard. And tonight, been Jack Bitterman, Leroy Morris at ringside for you, with Gulf Coast Wrestling at its best. Believe you me, we have seen some outstanding matches on television. As Leroy stated earlier, we hope certainly that we could bring you all of the matches, but the time will not permit. So, we'll do what we can in this second fall right now. First fall was won by Gene Lewis, and he disposed of Jerry Usher very quickly. Looked like Usher was getting the upper hand, but Gene Lewis came around and really put the pin on him. So we're working to the second fall now. 2 out of 3, the time limit is 30 minutes. And we have a short elapsed time of 3 on the first fall, just about 3.5 minutes before Gene Lewis did the heavy work on Jerry Usher. So, we've seen Gulf Coast Wrestling, and I know you enjoy it. And when wrestling comes to your particular area, we would hope that you would be at ringside watching all of the thrilling action.